What's up? It's me, D.W.C, and I am back with another MLB The Show 20 video. Today I'm doing something a little different, something that I thought would be kind of fun and interesting to do. I am doing a rebuild in MLB The Show 20, which is not different because I just did one with the Detroit Tigers, but this one is not going to be a 3-year rebuild, which the rest of my rebuilds most likely will be. That's what the standard rebuild format for me will be. But this one will be a 1-year rebuild. It will be a 1-season challenge. I'm going to pick a team randomly by scrolling through and then closing my eyes and stopping on a team. I'm going to use that team. If that team is already a World Series contender, I will pick a different team. And we're going to go through and we're going to try and win a World Series with them in 1 season. So first things first, we have to get our team. So I am going to scroll through. My eyes are currently closed. You cannot see that, but you just have to trust me. And we are going to stop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we get the New York Mets. So our challenge is going to be to turn the New York Mets into a World Series contender in 1 season. Let's see what we can do with this team. GM contracts don't matter. We're only playing 1 season. I'll turn everything on manual. Jump right into the regular season. Let's get a breakdown of our roster, and then I'll make some moves and update you as we go. Okay, so starting off with starting pitching, obviously we have Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard, so we're very happy with those two. That's a very solid 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup. Marcus Stroman's a good number 3 or 4. I'm happy with that. And then Steven Matz, I'm not very confident in. And Rick Porcello, I have no confidence in. Now, with this being a 1-year rebuild challenge, we are going to be trading away pretty much all of our prospects to try and make this team as good as we possibly can. I'm not going to be too unrealistic. If there are some prospects I think that the Mets would not trade away, I will try and hold on to them. But for the most part, pretty much everyone is up for grabs. So I'm going to try and not go too crazy, but looking at the bullpen, we have Seth Lugo, very solid. Dylan Betances, very solid. And then we have Justin Wilson is okay. Paul Sewald is not bad, could be a lot better, but doesn't hurt to have him in the bullpen. Then we have Familia, who is not very good, and he's on a big contract, so we're going to be looking to get him off the books, even with it being a 1-year rebuild challenge, and the same with Brad Brock. Actually, his contract isn't that big, but he's still not that good, so we might move him as well. Then we have Zellman behind him. He's not bad. He's got some decent stats. He could be a long relief man for us. And then we have a couple other B potential relievers. Michael Wacha in there. And our closing pitcher is obviously Edwin Diaz, who did have a tough first year with the Mets, but we're counting on him to have a bounce-back season and bring us to the World Series. Then catcher, we have Wilson Ramos. We're happy with that. He's not the greatest defensive catcher, but he'll do the job for us. First base, obviously, we have Pete Alonso. He's not going anywhere. And then behind him, we have Dom Smith, who we could move if we wanted to. I would like to hold on to him maybe as our bench bat and get rid of Matt Adams instead. And then we have Jeff McNeil and Robinson Cano. I definitely feel more confident in Jeff McNeil, especially with Robinson Cano being on that big contract and being 37 years old. I feel like he's going to fall off very, very quickly. So I might lock in Jeff McNeil as our second baseman and then move Robinson Cano. Then we have Jed Lowry. He can stay. He's a bench bat. $10 million is more than I would like for him to be getting paid, but that's all we can really do at this point. J.D. Davis at third base. He's okay. Could be a better fielder, but we'll take it. Eduardo Nunez is also decent. Could be better as well, but we'll see what we can do with this roster. Ahmed Rosario is pretty much safe on this team. He's good. 79 overall. He's got good contact hitting. His fielding could be better as a shortstop, but he's got good speed as well. Then we have Yoenis Cespedes. I'm not sure what I plan to do with him. He's got $27.5 million on his contract. I'm pretty sure his contract was supposed to be restructured. I'm not sure if they included that in the game or not. His stats are okay, but like as a 33-year-old outfielder, you're expecting them to be a lot better if you're going to keep them in your team. Jake Marisnick, we need better there. And then Brandon Nimmo in right field. He could play center field for us. I'm going to see what happens if we move him to center field, what happens to his overall. Does it get better or worse? and it gets a lot worse. So I guess we will keep him in right or left field. And I think Michael Conforto is pretty safe. So I'm going to go experiment with some trades and come back and show you the moves that I have made with this team. Okay, so trade number one that I'm going to be doing with the New York Mets is going to be picking up Carlos Carrasco as our third starter to go in front of Marcus Stroman. So we'll have DeGrom, Syndergaard, Carrasco, and Stroman as a solid four with Steven Matz as our five. We're also picking up Brad Hand to come in and be an extra reliever in the bullpen. He might even come in and be our closer right off the start, which is probably actually what we will do. And then we are also getting Cesar Hernandez just to make the money match up and to be an extra middle infielder and a bench bat for us. We're giving up Yoenis Cespedes, who I don't mind getting rid of, because we have Jake Marisnick and Michael Conforto and Jarrett Parker, and I plan on picking up another outfielder very soon in the next trade, most likely. We're also giving up Brandon Nimmo, who is 73 overall. I think we can get much better than him. I do like him as a player, but I think we can get better than him for a one-year rebuild. And then we're also giving up a B potential catcher. So we're going to go ahead and put that trade through. I'm going to go find another one, and I'll be back then. Okay, trade number two. And it was between George Springer of the Astros, and I know Astros, people don't like them right now. I don't like them right now. Nobody likes them. But it's the best option we have for this challenge, so I guess that's probably what we're going to have to go for. And it was between George Springer of the Astros and Tommy Pham of the Padres, and I ended up going with George Springer. So I'm going to break this trade down basically how I look at it. And we're giving up Ronnie Mauricio, who is an A potential prospect. And we're also giving up Matthew Allen, who's a B potential starting pitcher, for George Springer. So A potential shortstop and B potential starting pitcher for George Springer. And then Robinson Cano is going to be a swap with Joe Smith. And then we're also getting an A potential reliever in return, which doesn't help us for the one-year challenge at all, but it will bring in some value for the team going forward, regardless if I'm controlling them or not. So it's just an extra piece that we could even trade away in another trade. So we're going to make that trade, and then I'm going to look for maybe one, maybe two more trades. Okay, so the next trade is on your screen right now. We are giving up players that we wanted to get off of the team anyway. So we're getting rid of Rick Porcello. We are getting rid of Familia. And we are also adding in a prospect in Newton, a 20-year-old shortstop. But we have Ahmed Rosario, who's 24 with A potential. And we have Jimenez, who is 21, with also has B potential. And looking at the stats, I think I prefer Jimenez. I think he looks better. So I'm fine with adding in this player. And we're getting back a player to help our outfield. So he will be our starting left fielder, would be Corey Dickerson. And then we have George Springer in center and Michael Conforto in right. We're also bringing in Matt Joyce. Not sure if he's going to be an impact player for the team or not, but it's just an extra piece to bring in the trade. We're going to go ahead and make this trade happen, and then I will see if I want to do maybe one more trade or get into the simulation and then make a trade later in the season if we're not playing well. Okay, so final trade before the season starts. We are getting rid of Brad Brock and Matt Adams to make way for Dom Smith to be our backup first baseman in the majors, and we are getting back Kenyon Middleton. Pretty simple trade. We're just going to put that one through, and then we are now going to set our lineups and get into the simulation. Alright, so here we are at the All-Star break. You see the team is doing pretty well. We are 59-37, so we're fairly happy with that. Looking at the league standings, we are in first place in the division. We are ranked third in baseball. So the Braves are a half game behind us, and they are comfortably in the first wild card position. So hopefully we can hold on to our position right now. If not, I'm fairly confident that we'll be able to snag the first wild card position. If not, definitely the second one. I can't see this team really falling apart that much in the second half. I don't really see a need to make any trades or any adjustments with this team. Maybe I might go look to pick up a bench bat and replace Matt Joyce, Actually, I will do that for sure, and I'll go do that right now. Okay, so just a very quick trade package I put together. We are getting rid of Matt Joyce and Ryan Cordell, who's a 27-year-old B potential outfielder who is not very good overall-wise. And we are getting back Ben Gamel, who is a better outfielder than both of those players, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and do that trade, and he will be our extra outfielder and our extra bench bat that we picked up. So another lefty off the bench. We're happy with that move, and we are going to simulate up until the end of the season. I'm not going to make any more trades, and we'll see how the team finishes out. Okay, so we have reached the end of the season. We finished at 90 and 72. Would have liked to have maybe a few more wins with that, but we did get a wild card position. We are going to stop simulating. We're going to quickly go over everything that we need to go over. The Braves ended up running away with the division. We were the second wild card team pretty comfortably by 6 games. I'll show you really quickly. We struggled in the month of August with a lot of losses and big losing streaks, so that kind of hurt us. Looking at the team, I'm pretty happy overall with how the team performed. Springer was very good. Alonso was very good. Conforto was very good. J.D. Davis was very good. Ramos was very good. McNeil was good. And Corey Dickerson was good. So I'm very happy with our players and our pitchers. DeGrom was good. Syndergaard was good. Carrasco was good. Steven Matz was decent. And the last 2 in our rotation were as good as you can get, or pretty much as good as you can ask for a 4 and 5 starter. Zellman wasn't very good. Wilson also struggled. Betances was decent. Joe Smith struggled. Lugo was good. Edwin Diaz struggled. And Brad Hand was okay. So quickly jumping over to look at our opponents, the Rockies. I don't think they made any really impactful trades. John Gray is injured for the playoffs, so they really only have one impactful starter, which unfortunately, as the wild card game, that's all they need against us. If they get past us, then they'll be in big trouble. Their bullpen is nothing to worry about. They got a decent catcher. Obviously, they have Arenado and Story still. They have Dahl, who is out for until next season. And they added Adam Eaton, who I actually also traded for in my Rockies franchise, which is pretty cool. And then they still have Blackman. So they haven't made that many changes, and we're going to hop right into the game and quick manage it and see how the game plays out. Okay, so we have DeGrom versus Marquez. Pitching matchup definitely favors us. Looking at the lineups, they have 2 outliers in Arenado and Story, but we have Springer and Alonso to combat that. And we also have more depth throughout our lineup than they do. So I think we have the advantage going into this game. We're going to get right into it, though, as we are threatening early. We get a single, bases loaded with 2 out in the first inning, but we cannot get anything out of it. First inning goes by quickly for them. We get a double from Ahmed Rosario to drive in a run in the second inning to put us up 1-0. Michael Conforto walks. J.D. Davis singles. Can't get anything out of it. Jeff McNeil leads off the 4th inning with a single. And then Corey Dickerson hits a 2-run home run to put us up 3-0 in the top of the 4th. George Springer follows that up with a solo home run to put us up 4-0. Back-to-back home runs right there. Very big. We have 2 men on with 1 out now in the top of the 5th with J.D. Davis and Wilson Ramos on base. Jeff McNeil at the plate. Fielder's choice. Jacob DeGrom gets a hit and drives in a run to help himself out. We are now up 5-0. We have 10 hits. They have not had a hit yet against Jacob DeGrom. George Springer with a single. Pete Alonso with a 2-run home run, so we are now up 7-0. We are absolutely spanking them in this game. Dom Nunez gets the first base hit of the game for the Colorado Rockies. DeGrom's energy is still looking great, so he is in it for the long haul, in my opinion, unless he gets into trouble. 2 runners on now, a single, bases loaded with 2 out. Can he get out of it? And he does. DeGrom is back on the mound in the bottom of the 8th. He gets a flyout. He gets 2 flyouts, a pinch hitter, singles. A double from Adam Eaton scores a run, and DeGrom gets the strikeout to end the inning. That will be his final inning, and we will go to the bullpen to close out the game here in the wild card game. So, going to our bullpen. With a 6-run lead, it shouldn't matter that much. So we are just going to go with Joe Smith. Throw him in there. Hopefully he can get 3 quick outs for us. and we can move on to the division series. 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Joe Smith wraps it up. We beat the Rockies. We are moving on to face the Dodgers in the division series. That's going to be a tough matchup for us. Very quickly going over the Dodgers roster. Everyone knows how stacked they are. They have Kershaw, Buehler, Urias, Wood, and Price as their starters. Very solid rotation. They have Pedro Baez, Blake Treinen, Dylan Floro, Kenley Jansen in the bullpen. Solid bullpen. Will Smith as their catcher. Max Muncy at first base is a very good player in MLB The Show franchise. Gavin Lux at second base with Kike Hernandez. They picked up Eduardo Escobar after trading Justin Turner at third base. Shortstop, they have Trey Turner, who they also acquired in a trade. Jock Peterson in left. Chris Taylor and Pollock in center, who I would assume Mookie Betts or Bellinger is playing center. And yeah, this team is just absolutely stacked, and they got even more stacked simulating throughout the season with the trades they made, which is insane. So I don't know if we can get past this team, but I'm going to see. We're going to do our best. First game, we will have Noah Syndergaard versus Walker Buehler, and I will change up the rotation so that Jacob deGrom can get back into action quicker. We will do Syndergaard, Carrasco, deGrom, Stroman, and that's what we will go with. We are going to simulate through the first couple games and then quick manage if we are in trouble. We lose game 1, we lose game 2, and we win game 3. So we're going to quick manage game number 4. And if it comes down to it and we lose to this Dodgers team, I'm going to be totally happy with that. And if it comes down to it and we lose to this Dodgers team, I'm going to be totally okay with that because this team is absolutely stacked. We got Marcus Stroman versus Alex Wood. You look at the lineups, you can pause and look at them right there. They definitely have the advantage over us. So let's get into it. Eduardo Escobar hits a 2-run home run in the top of the second to give the Dodgers a 2-0 lead. Bases loaded in the top of the third with 2 out. And Eduardo Escobar doubles and drives in 3 runs. He has 5 RBI in this game as he is absolutely killing us here in this game. And it looks like our season very may well be coming to an end. George Springer hits a solo home run to make the game 5-1 and bring us within 4. Pete Alonso doubles, and we can't get anything more out of that. Going to our bullpen now, we are going to bring in Joe Smith, I guess. He gets through his inning. We can't get anything in our inning. We're going to go now to Edwin Diaz for the 6th. He gets through his inning. Again, we can't get anything going. Gavin Lux hits a 2-run home run, and I'm pretty much certain that we are done for in this series here now. We'll make a pitching change anyway. We'll bring in Justin Wilson for the upcoming lefties. Mookie Betts walks. Justin Wilson can't even get out the lefties like he's supposed to. And we are down 8-1. This game is finished. We have no chance at coming back in this game. Unfortunately, my 1-year rebuild did go to the wayside as we could not get past this Los Angeles Dodgers team. They absolutely smoke us here in this game, beating us 12-1 by the looks of it. Okay, Jeff McNeil hits a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th to make it 12-3, but we absolutely got smoked in that final game, and we could not complete the 1-year rebuild challenge. I did my best. I made as many moves as I can without going overboard. I definitely improved the team without a doubt. But that Dodgers team is just way too much to handle in year number 1. You kind of need to wait and get further into franchise mode and hope that that team gets broken up because that team is just way too powerful. But either way, hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little different. I'll probably end up doing some more of these because I found it pretty fun. But I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.